Thanks, Tori. Morning, everybody. Great to see so many people here with us this morning. Tori says I'm going to talk for a few minutes about Abby, and then we've got two students who are coming to join us. One is a UK student, and one is a Ukrainian student. And they're both going to come and talk about how much they enjoy being here at Abbey. And it's completely unscripted, all right? So you can, and again, if you've got any questions for them, if anybody's got any questions for them, then as Tori said, please put the questions into the chat and we will ask Zoe and you'll hold those questions. So, Abbey College, Manchester. The presentation seems to have frozen, Tori. There we go. Welcome to Manchester. Here we go. So, the college building is right in the centre of Manchester. So, if you look at a map of Manchester, zoom right in on the centre, then Abbey College is right there. So, we're right in the middle of a very cosmopolitan and fantastic city. And there's the outside of the building. And our motto is achieving success together. And it's really important that we do work together. We've only got 205 students on roll, so we're a very small, welcoming college. We get to know the students really well. They get to know us really well. Lots of fantastic support available. And we've got a mixture of international and UK students. This year, we've got about 30% domestic students, so about 60 students from here in the UK, and the other 145 or so are from 35 different countries all around the world. And because we are smaller and because of where we are, students with us have to be that little bit more independent. They have to get to college kind of by train or tram or bus, which is really easy here in Manchester. But students do need to be that little bit more independent than in a kind of more traditional setting. So the top nationalities this year, as it says there, are UK, followed by Iran, then Hong Kong, and China, and that varies year on year. And last year, we were really pleased that 75% of our cohort got to their first choice destination universities, which was fabulous. We'll talk a little bit more about universities and destinations a little bit later. And on timetables, as well as doing the kind of academic subjects, be it GCSE, A-level, or IFP for international students, students also have IELTS lessons for those who need it. If you're from the UK and you don't know what IELTS is, then you don't need to know. If you're international, you will know what IELTS is because it's the English language system that you need to get to university. So we are very student-centred. With only having 205 students on roll, as I say, we do get to know the students really, really, really well. About 65 or so of the students live in boarding. And again, we'll talk about boarding a little bit later. But there's plenty of opportunities to get to know people, to talk to people. There's lots of people here to help. And all of that basically is because we are so small and we've got very small classes. So the maximum class size is 12. And the average class size is probably somewhere around 8 or 9, but it does very much depend on the subject and the year group. But when you are in a class of, even if it is 12, the amount of support you can get from your teacher is amazing. And then everybody's in a tutor group. And again, maximum tutor class size is 12. And then there's also heads of house. We've got a college nurse. We've got counsellors. Lots and lots of people here to kind of help and support you on your journey. And for those of you who would be coming into year 13, be it for A-levels or IFP, you would also go into bespoke UCAS support group. And again, Johor is in year 13, so he'll talk a little bit more about UCAS. And the academic support is fantastic. Again, in small classes, the amount of teacher time you get is far greater than if you're in a class of 30, 35. And also we use Teams. It's basically the one good thing that came out of COVID. We've continued to use Teams. The teachers have built up a fantastic bank of resources over the last few years on Teams, which are available to everybody. And you can always instant message your teachers through Teams if you're doing your homework down the learning centre or you're doing some self study at home, a little bit unsure, need some extra guidance. You can send a message to your teachers and say, take a photo of your work. Is this right? Or I'm a little bit unsure. I'm doing this question. If you're doing your homework at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is when I think most teenagers do their homework, then the teacher won't necessarily see it at that time, but they'll be able to respond when they do and might say, yep, that's absolutely fine, or say, pop up and see me. So, the support is amazing compared to some other schools and colleges. Last year we had our ISI inspection last March, so almost a year ago. And there's some very nice comments there from ISI. We came out as excellent in both categories, and some very nice things there from ISI. So the various different courses we offer then, we do the traditional 2-year A-level, where students would come to us in year 12, age 16, 17, 18, 19, something like that, and do 2 years, do 3 subjects, sometimes 4. We're not too keen on students doing 4 because they don't need to do 4, but sometimes students, if they're doing maths and further maths, then they like to do those 4. So maths, further maths, chemistry, physics would be a typical 4 subject choice. And alongside the 3 or 4 subjects, students would also have IELTS if they need it, if they're international, and a UCAS class. We also do a 1-year A-level, so sometimes students need to do some resits. The A-levels didn't work out first time round, and they want to improve the grades to get to university. We can do a 1-year course. Sometimes students have done a year of A-levels at one school or college and decide actually it's not quite what they want and swap into the 2nd year with us. We have an International Foundation Programme or Combined Studies Programme for domestic students, which again is available over 1 year or 2 years. And the International Foundation Programme, typically students would do 2 strands rather than the 3 at A-level. And alongside that would then do what we call key skills. And the key skills course is really, it is what it says on the tin. It is key skills. It is skills that universities want. So there's some maths in there. And then we have written a bespoke university key skills course, which involves things like note-taking, referencing, presentation skills, group work skills, all of the things that you will need to do at university, but that nobody ever necessarily teaches you. And that course is worth kind of 25% of the overall percentage of the IFP or the Combined Studies Programme. And it gives direct entry to university, just like A-levels do. And we also have GCSEs. We do GCSEs in 1 year. So it's a very fast course, a very accelerated course. And because it's so fast, the maximum number of GCSEs that students can take is 6. And for both A-level and GCSE, we've got a wide range of subjects from maths and maths, further maths and the sciences, through biz, econ, business, economics, accounting. We also have creative arts. So we do art, textiles, and photography. Environmental science. If there are enough students who want to do it, we offer English. We can offer languages. And that's all I can remember off the top of my head. But if you have a look on the website, everything's there on the website in terms of what subjects we offer. So academic support, we send a report home to parents and agents every half term. So every 5, 6, 7 weeks, students will get a full report. So we track and monitor progress really closely, and parents, guardians, agents will also get to see exactly where you're up to. And if there are any problems, if there are any questions in between times, then parents, guardians, agents, more than welcome to get in touch with the head of house, who can find out some more information. And the reports we send home, as it says here, we call them patch reports, and the patch stands for progress, areas development, target grade, current grade, how to get to the next level, and homework. So the areas development and how to get to the next level are the really key ones, and they will be bespoke to you. They will be 4 or 5 bullet points designed for you to talk about your areas development and how you can get to your next level. All right, so really, really, really refined reporting system designed to help you get to the next level. What we've also done is we've got rid of parents' evenings. So in the first 2 terms, we also have what we call ACE Day, which stands for Abbey College Evaluation Day, where the students will meet with their form tutor to talk about their own patch, talk about their own personal development, how they are getting on in their subjects. And again, this goes back to what I was saying before about that need to be a little bit more independent. So instead of having teachers talking to parents, it's the students talking to their own form tutor about their own progress, their own development, and parents are more than welcome to attend. But the whole point is it's guiding the students towards being more independent and taking more responsibility, because it's what they're going to have to do when they get to university. So 2023 results here. I'm not going to talk through them all because you can see them. A-level results at the top, IFP and CSP results in the middle, and GCSE results at the bottom. Very, very impressive results. We were really proud of those. And we're hoping for just as good, if not better, in 2024. Then in terms of progression to universities, here is a list of universities that students have got to over the last few years. So a really good range of universities. Johor will be able to talk about what universities he's got offers from, because I think he's got 4 out of his 5 offers so far. So these are the universities that students have gone to over the last kind of 2-3 years. So really, really top universities there. Then in terms of the range of courses, huge range of courses, dentistry through to philosophy, law, pharmacy, arts, advertising, massive range of universities. And again, that kind of represents the huge range of subjects we offer. You can see some of the photography work behind me on the wall here that the students produced last year. Zoe and Johor have just joined me, so they're both here ready to talk to you. Zoe's looking very nervous, I have to say, so it'd be nice to her. Student wellbeing. So as I said, the ISI also comment on pupils' personal progress and how they're getting on, because obviously that's kind of key. And as I said before, we were rated excellent for that as well. And again, some comments there from the ISI inspectors, which was very nice. So in terms of support, then we have a wellbeing room where we can take students and go for meetings if they need meetings. We've got a counsellor who comes in 2 days a week, and if students want to talk to the counsellor, that's absolutely fantastic. We also got a common room, which is a nice space for students to go and kind of relax. And then there's a learning centre, which is a nice quiet area for students to do homework, and that's getting busier and busier at this time of year, obviously, as we head into exam season. We've also got, as I keep saying, we've got a house system. The houses are named after famous people from Manchester, so Bridgewater, Gascoigne and Rylands, and the students have a head of house, and the head of house oversees pastoral and academic progress. Head of house will be parents, agents' first point of call. If there's any worries, any concerns, then it's the head of house who parents will talk to, and the students know their heads of house really well. Alongside the academic programs, then we also have 3 different sporting programs that you can do with any of the different courses, GCSE, A-level or IFP, CSP. We don't recommend A-level and the sports courses just because sports are intensive and A-levels are incredibly intensive. However, every year some students do start off on the A-level with the sports, and the 3 sports we currently offer are football, cycling and tennis. The football is with International House, the tennis is with the Northwest Tennis Centre, and the cycling is with the British Tennis Centre over at the Velodrome. Enrichment and clubs on a Wednesday afternoon. We have various different enrichments and clubs available, again, from sport through to knitting to board games, yoga, badminton, and a big range of enrichment activities. And again, students don't necessarily have to do one of these. We have one student who goes horse riding. We have one student who works at a BMW garage. Again, all of these things enrich the students' kind of curriculum and time with us. So if you come to join us and there's something you already do, something you'd like to do, it's not a problem. We can help support that. I know Zoe is a ski instructor. And I'm sure she'll talk about that in a little while. So boarding, Johor is in boarding. Johor will talk more about boarding. Here's some photos of boarding. So Clydesdale House is where the boarding is, and it's about a 7-minute walk in that direction, depending on how fast you walk. And it's really, really nice accommodation. To go into boarding, students need to be over 16 on the 1st of September. And there are 3 resident house parents, maybe 4, who live in Clydesdale House and look after the students. They look after the students' safety, basically, make sure the students are safe and secure. They make sure all the doors are locked. There's a curfew. The curfew is 9 o'clock during the week, 10 o'clock weekends. We also have a fantastic cook called Esther, who cooks lovely food. And again, we're continually developing the menu. So again, if there's something you don't like, talk to Esther. Something you do like, talk to Esther. All the meat we cook is halal. You get breakfast, lunch, and an evening meal. Lunch tends to be a wrap or a sandwich. Breakfast is kind of laid out. It's cold. There's a choice of pastries and fruits and breads and cereals and juices and teas and coffees. And high-speed internet, laundry, all included, and there's activities in the evenings and weekends, and it's a really nice place to be. And so the bedrooms are really nice. They're in what we call clusters around a central common room and kitchen, and there's 9 or 11 in a cluster. Boys separate to girls, and if you're a boy, you can't go into the girls' cluster. If you're a girl, you can't go into the boys' cluster, and it's really safe and secure. And it's in the northern quarter, which is a very cool part of Manchester. If you are under 16, then you would have to stay with one of our homestay hosts. And we have about 20 homestay hosts kind of all around Manchester. Sometimes students decide once they turn 16 to stay with their homestays because they're having such a great time, and they become part of the family. They really do become part of the family. We've got one boy who's been with his homestay host for 2 years, and he wants to stay for the next 2 years with her. So if you are under 16 and if you're a little bit worried about homestays, we can put you in touch with some of our students or some of the homestays themselves. But it's a fantastic opportunity, and we've found that the students who do live with a homestay host, their English improves enormously because they are living with a Mancunian family, a family from Manchester, who just welcome them and make them part of the family. And it's fantastic. Manchester, the city, fantastic city. It says there are 100,000 students in Manchester, 41,000 are international. Best football team in the world. There's nothing about football there, so there's always something about football. Best football team in the world. People are really friendly. It's a cracking city. It's home to Manchester University, and I think it was the Time Out guide, or was the New York Times guide, Manchester was the only city in the UK to be in the top 10 cities to visit in the UK. We love Manchester. It's a great place. So why Abbey College? They've got a small, welcoming community. Everybody knows everybody. Supportive, inclusive classes, outstanding student care, etc., etc. So British and international students work together. But I think I have talked enough. So I think I'm gonna let Yahor and Zoe talk now. Who wants to talk first?
Okay.
Yahor. Okay. So I will pass you over to Yahor. Now Yahor is from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Hello.
There we go. So tell us then what do you enjoy about Abbey College?
For me, the best part is that it's quite small college and communication is quite easy.
Yep.
Because teacher just can go and speak to you, and it's really easy to find somebody.
Yeah.
Because my previous school was like for near 1,000 students, so it's really large, and the teachers was occupied all the time.
Yeah.
So
what subjects do you do, Yahor?
I'm doing biology, chemistry, and maths. The classics.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
And how do you find the support from your teachers in biology, chemistry, and maths?
Support is quite high. I mean, teachers respond really quickly in the teams. And for me, it's the best part because I need support.
That's great. No, that's fantastic. And so how is it, apart from the size, and how is it different to your previous school?
My previous school was just bigger, and it was like surrounded. It wasn't not in the city. It was like an outskirts. So and Abbey College is in the city, which is better, and of course near accommodation. So I don't need to wake up like at 6 o'clock.
Very good. So, and I said before, you have had 4 of your 5 offers. Do you want to talk us through kind of the support for UCAS, and also talk us through what you've applied for, where you've applied for, and what your offers are? Because it's really exciting.
So I've got 4. I'm still waiting for Nottingham, but I've got Bath, Newcastle, Kiel, and Coventry as safe choice.
Fantastic. And what have you applied to study?
Pharmacology.
Amazing. So Bath, Newcastle, Kiel, and
Coventry.
Fantastic. And you pleased with those 4 offers so far?
Yeah.
And what was the support? So you had a UCAS class with Nigel, one of the assistant principals. And how did that work? And what kind of support did you get from Nigel?
We've got lessons like every week, and we just separated the task for UCAS, and the Nigel's trying to explain us what to do and what their limits for time. But I've done my UCAS like in November.
Brilliant. So you applied in November?
Yeah, I applied in November.
And when did you start getting offers?
1 or 2, right? Like in 2 weeks' time or something like that. And
so you would say it's better to apply early?
Yeah, and some of them like arrived in December.
Fantastic.
But still, it's really close time.
Really good. That's really good. Okay, so what about Manchester as a city then?
I love it. It's quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's lots of things to do. I love walking, and
Nice.
Manchester is large. There is like big park nearby,
Yeah.
so great area.
Cool. And are the nice, good restaurants? You go out to restaurants and stuff, or not really?
I cooking by myself.
You cook? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you eat Esther's food, or do you prefer to cook for yourself?
No, by myself every
cook.
time. Yeah.
And so, and what's the kitchen like? So tell us about boarding then. What do you think defines that?
Boarding is quite good. I mean, rooms is large.
Yeah, they're nice rooms. So
Yeah.
you've got your own bathroom. So
Yeah.
You don't share a bathroom. You got a big bed.
Yeah.
Study space.
Yeah, study space. I mean, there is a room, like common room.
Yep.
So you can study not in your room because bed is kind of attractive. And on exams I studied there.
Okay.
And
was it like living kind of independently but with other students and having the house parents there?
There's lots of pros and cons. Of course, the community is quite large, and me and the boys just quite often just speak on the kitchen for like hours.
Cool.
Of course, it's great.
That's nice.
And so some cultural exchange happens. Like
so you're from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Are there any other students from Ukraine in boarding?
No.
Okay,
no.
so where are all the other students from that you live with?
Oh, well, one guy is from Russia, I guess. One is from Iran. The Portuguese one from Africa. I don't. Zimbabwe, Nigeria, yeah.
Oh, so a nice mixture.
Yeah, really nice mixture.
Cool. And how do you feel your English has improved? Because your English is excellent. How do you feel your English has improved since you've been here?
It became much better because I'm not using Ukrainian or Russian at all.
Yeah.
So every day English speaking helps.
Do you have IELTS lessons as well?
Yeah.
Have you done your IELTS test? Or
yeah. I've
done.
I got 7.5.
Amazing. Well done. That's awesome. Cool.
But I still need more.
Well, yeah, the 7.5 is really good. Okay, and what do you do at weekends then?
Study and sleep.
You're a teenager. That's okay.
Yes. I've got the gym program, so I go to the gym like 3 times a week.
Where is the gym? Because I think one of the questions that somebody's already asked is where are the nearest gyms?
It's like next street, like 2 minutes walk near Market Street.
Perfect.
It's like £20 per month. And
it's in between, so basically in between college and Clydesdale House. Awesome, fantastic.
Just a nice walk.
All right, thank you. I'll finally describe Abbey College in 3 words.
Hard tasks. I mean, good. For me, it's friendly.
Friendly, yeah.
And relaxing.
Awesome.
I would say.
Awesome. Brilliant. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you, and so if you stay, and then so some of the people on the webinar might have some questions for you. But best of luck in your exams this summer, and fantastic pharmacology. Fingers crossed that that's going to be where you're going to be in September. That'd be cool. Excellent. And Zoe. So Zoe's from the UK.
Yes.
From near Manchester.
Yes, on the outskirts.
You live up in the hills, don't you?
Yes.
So what's the journey like into Manchester?
Yeah, so the commute it is quite long, but I don't really expect anything less. Like it's completely worth it in my opinion. I get public transport, so I drive. Yeah, that's it. I drive to the tram stop and then get the tram.
And what's the tram like traveling by?
Yeah, it's usually very, very reliable. You sometimes get like the odd day where it's a bit annoying, but usually for the most part, it's very, very
What happens if you can't get in? Can you join team? Can you join lessons on Teams?
Yeah, so my teachers, they'll send me the work on Teams, which I absolutely love. The Teams communication is something I've never had before at a school, and I absolutely love it. I appreciate it so much, being able to just type a message and get answers. It's absolutely brilliant.
We were all communicating by Teams, weren't we?
Yeah.
You both just responded instantly. Which is absolutely fantastic. So how is it different from where you've been in the past, then, Zoe?
Yeah, so again, the size thing is such a big thing for me. I was at a similar kind of school, like 2,000 kids. It was just I didn't know any different. Yeah. I've never had a college where the class sizes have been so small, but for me, it's helped me so much.
You're doing RS,
textiles, and economics.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in RS, there are 3 of you, 4 of you?
I think there's a couple more actually now.
Okay.
I think there's about 6.
Cool. And
Yeah.
textiles is,
Textiles is tiny. Textiles is about 4.
and economics.
I think that's about 10.
So in terms of support from your teachers then in such small classes?
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Like I've never, usually feedback is just general feedback, but it's so individual. It's so like individually designed for me, and it just helps me so much, like being able to work on what I actually need to work on instead of other
Just
people.
general stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So how do you feel you've progressed this year then?
Yeah, like absolutely, like more than I could even explain. I never thought I'd get the chance really to even come back to college to do my A levels, and it's just been absolutely amazing to do it here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell us about ski instructing.
Yeah, so skiing is something that I've always done. I'm on a ski racing team as well.
Oh wow.
So I do ski racing and ski instructing. I became a ski instructor last year. And I work now at the Chill Factor,
Cool.
which is not too far from here, actually.
Just tell us what the Chill Factor is.
So the Chill Factor is it's like a snow dome. It's basically like a big ski slope, indoor ski slope. Yeah, it's real snow and everything, and everyone comes learn to ski. There's a beginner slope, a big slope, and again, that's something fun to do around here. Like, it's great to go on weekends, but yeah, no, so. I work there on weekends, and it's absolutely brilliant. Right. It's amazing for me.
And what do you want to do at university?
So I want to kind of go into maybe human rights.
Brilliant.
With the kind of the RS, justice, ethics. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of looking to do, yeah.
Fantastic. And so you don't yet have UCAS classes, but you have a class called Success in the Sixth Form, don't you? And what do you do in Success in the Sixth Form?
So at the minute, we're kind of looking at study plans.
Okay.
It's really good. It's like, it's keeping you on top of what you need to do. It's keeping you on top of your homework, your hours you're putting in. And it's really, really brilliant to just have that time to do your plans.
And have you started looking at UCAS and applications?
Yeah. We've started kind of that process. I'm looking at York at the minute. That's kind of the first choice. So
and again, not too far from home.
Not too far from home.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you like about Manchester then? Manchester, apart from the skiing?
Yeah. So Manchester, for me, is like, so I've lived here all my life. Yeah. And to be honest, before I came here, I didn't really come to the city centre very often. Yeah. So it's kind of, I'm exploring, I'm finding new things. Like, it's great. I love the shopping and the going out for lunch and everything.
Because that's it as well. So being in college, you wear your own clothes.
Yeah.
Everybody's on first name terms. You can come and go as you please. You don't have to be here from 9 in the morning until 5 in the night. You just come in for lessons. So there is that independence, isn't it, compared to kind of school, compared to where you've been in the past, which is really cool. Okay, so same final question as I always said to you, Abbey College in 3 words.
Yeah, so unique.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's very ambitious and supportive.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Ho. So I think that's it from us here in Manchester in terms of presentation. So Tori, I see there's quite a few questions and there's quite a bit of stuff in chat. So I'll kind of if we all scoot out. And there we go. So Tori, have you got any questions for the guys?
Okay, well, one question that I've got for them is what advice would you give then to somebody who is thinking of coming to study at Abbey College, Manchester?
For me, it's learning how to be independent. I think it's the most precious thing we can do, because teachers, they're just giving you knowledge and they won't push you to study or something. It's only depends on you. So, and this really skill you need to apply.
Yeah.
I think for me, it would be to speak to as many people as you can. Everyone's from everywhere, and it's so interesting to get to know everyone's cultures, and it's a really great experience.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so I know both, while you've been answering your your questions have been talking about the teachers and the help. So what kind of support? How do the teachers sort of help support you in well, yeah, being the best you can be?
So for me, it's kind of I can struggle with kind of my reading, my writing, and obviously I do quite essay subjects. So being able to, my teachers will sit down with me, they'll kind of have one-on-one time, and we'll be able to really talk through what I need to do, what I need to improve on, what I'm doing well, which is important for me as well. And that just really helps me, is having that individual one-on-one time.
Yeah. And for scientific classes, we have, for example, biology, chemistry, after tests, lab works, and something like that. We've got the review classes where we just review the work we have done. So, and quite often we take the test and doing it again, but with a teacher. So he shows our mistakes and shows how to improve here. So
Okay.
I think it's better.
Brilliant.
That's great. Thank you very much. Now, has anyone else got any questions that they would like to ask either Chris or Zoe and Yehor? Everyone's being very silent on the function here.
We've obviously said so much. We've obviously answered all the questions people were going to ask.
Yeah, and of course there is a lot of information to be taking in
Yeah.
in the space of 35 minutes as well. So I mean, obviously, if anyone does have any further questions, please do get in touch with us. So do come and visit if you are in the Manchester area. We're always love meeting people and showing people around the campus. Or again, if anyone wants to follow up with a more sort of individual one-on-one call, again, very happy to organise a more sort of personalised one-on-one call as well. So if there's nothing that anyone else wants to say, then I think let's end this morning's session. Thank you very, very much to Zoe and Yehor. It's really, really helpful.
Thank you.
Really nice to hear what you're saying, and good luck with your studies. And yeah, so Chris, have you got any final words you'd like to say?
No, again, thanks to these guys, thanks to Yehor, Zoe, and thank you, Tori, and thanks everybody for listening. And as Tori says, if anybody does have any more questions, then get in touch. If you are in the area, come and visit us. Otherwise, we'd love to see you here in Manchester in September. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Tori. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.